What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Gooners Therapy. Dan the Gooner here. Absolutely buzzing for the game tomorrow. But before we get into that, I just want to thank everyone for liking and subscribing. We're nearly at the 200 mark now, so please hit the like button, subscribe, and get us to that 200 before we play Liverpool 3 away, guys. Anyway, let's get into it now. The lineups. What do we think Mikel Arteta's going to do? I'm going to show you what I think he's going to do, and it's also the lineup that I think he'll do it, and it's the lineup that I think most of us would like to see. I'll just get it up here on the screen. So as you can see, David Raya in goal. Of course, the back five basically picks itself now. 2 games, 2 clean sheets. Calafiori at left back, Timber at right back, Saliba and Gabriel. Then we have Zubomendi, Declan Rice and Eze coming in for the injured Odegaard. Eze, he's only had a week's training with the team, but this is what he was brought in to do, to play in these big games, to give us that little bit extra in the final third, to cause moments, to just take long range shots. We all know what Eze's about, and I think he's going to have to throw him in. I can't see him playing Wanyeri there over Eze and putting so much pressure. I know there's pressure on Eze, but he's 27 years old. He's a seasoned professional. It's what he's been brought in to do. So I do think he'll go with the midfield three of Eze, Zubomendi and Declan Rice. It'll be interesting because they would have played together as a three. And then coming on the left, I was talking to Dan. We did a live on this yesterday, who I do the show with. And he was saying he would prefer Trossard, which is, look, I mean, it's kind of a flip of a coin if you prefer Trossard or Martinelli. Particularly for this game, in particular, I would go with Martinelli just because of, for one, his previous in these games, he's been very good against Liverpool. He's got a good record. He's scored 4 goals against them. He's got a few assists. He always seems to turn up against Liverpool. And I know a lot of people say, well, Trent's not there now. Well, guess what? It's not going to be Frimpong either. It's going to be Szoboszlai or Curtis Jones at right back. So I think defenders are scared of pace. Give me Martinelli on that left. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The only thing we're not really getting on our YouTube, we're getting it on TikTok, is comments. And you guys are subscribing and we're getting likes. We're getting little comments here and there, but let me know, please, guys, in the comments. We need some comments for our channel. So please, if you can, drop some comments. Let me know. Just simple. Would you go with Trossard or would you go with Martinelli on the left? And anything else you might want to add about the game. But anyway, so that's what I think will be. And it has to be Madueke on the right. It's what he's been brought in for. And of course, it's going to be Gyökeres up top, no doubt about it. Havertz is out injured, so it's going to be Gyökeres up top. Just going to touch on, I mean, look, that's 3 of our key players, right? Our number 1 striker from last season, our number 1, like, if you want to call him an attacking midfielder, or number 8, whatever you want to call him, in Odegaard, and Saka, our best player. The 3 of them are out of our biggest game of the season, yet we're all confident. Reason being because we've got adequate backup. We've got Madueke, we've got Eze, and obviously Gyökeres is actually now the number 1 striker. So, I mean, it just shows what squad depth does, and this is why there's no excuses for Arsenal going into this game. Now, I'll just pop up another formation, another team that he could go with. So, obviously, the back 5 stays the same. It's in the middle here. Potentially, you could have a midfield 3 of Rice, Zubomendi and Wanyeri, and then you could put Eze out to the left, so Martinelli misses out. I don't see that happening somehow, but listen, I wouldn't be totally against it. There's one more formation I'm going to show you here, and one of them is it's got a midfield. It's the same back 5 again, but a midfield 3 of Marino, because everyone seems to be forgetting about Marino. With Marino, Zubomendi, who played together at Real Sociedad, played together for Spain as well, and Declan Rice. So them 3, which for me doesn't have enough of a creative spark in it, and I would. It's not something I'd like to see, but it wouldn't totally surprise me if we saw them 3 lining up. But that would mean Eze would not play, and maybe he doesn't want to throw Eze in. Maybe he wants to go and be pragmatic as can be, because that midfield 3 would be quite pragmatic. But I've seen him do it. I think it didn't work. He done it against Bournemouth last year when we lost 2-0 away. He had Thomas Partey, Marino and Rice, and it did not work at all. Of course, Zubomendi is the only difference would be, of course, for Partey. But I think it's just a bit bland. We need something in there. We need an Eze. We need a Wanyeri. We need something like that. And I don't think he'll go with that personally, but that is a possibility that he could go for that. And listen, it could work. You know, we could go out with that lineup. You know, be strong. And I think, however, whoever plays, I don't think we're going to see Arsenal go gun ho. People are expecting goals. I'm not expecting goals like that. I'm actually predicting an Arsenal 1-0 win is what I'm going for. And now listen, I want us to go up there and go for the win, but at the same time, I don't want us to be stupid. And I know under my manager, under Mikel Arteta, we will not be stupid. We've not lost against the big six, I should say, actually, because we have lost against the top six. So that is a bit of a myth because we've lost to Newcastle and we lose to them quite a lot. But the big six, the big so-called big six, you know, United shouldn't really be in that now. It sounds crazy saying that, but come on. They're going to finish probably, they'll be lucky to finish in the top 10 this year, and they were 15th last year. So, you know, Spurs, I could see them getting back into it. But anyway, that's another video, another whole discussion for another time. But yeah, anyway, against the big teams, we do really, really well, right? So I would want to go into this game however we're going to score, whether it be from a corner, a moment of magic, you know, from Eze. Usually that's, if I'd go into one of these games, I'd be thinking maybe a moment of magic from Saka. But now you look and you think, where is it going to come from? And obviously you've got Gyökeres, but for me, Gyökeres is going to need service. It's only going to be his third game in an Arsenal shirt. He's going to need the service. Don't get me wrong, he could make something happen out of nowhere. He could do that. But for me personally, I feel like Gyökeres is going to have a quiet game. And I do feel like, and this is not knocking the guy at all, I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for Arsenal. But I do feel like he may struggle in the big games, which a lot of players do. You know, you see Haaland in the big games as well. But like he didn't, I remember when they won the treble, when he didn't score in the semi and he didn't score in the final, but he got them to that point. So listen, if Gyökeres is going to be there scoring 2 against Leeds, 2 against Brentford, a hat-trick against Burnley, you know, and we set up different in these games. You know, we set up totally different. In a home game, I would be expecting him to score. It's totally different. But these big away games against Liverpool, Manchester City, Man United, honestly, I don't mind the approach at all of going there, making sure you do not lose the game. If you go 1-0 up, you sit back and you defend your lead. Some fans, some fans are never happy. You know, I went on the football terrace after we beat Leeds. We've just won 5-0. Gyökeres has scored 2 goals on star signing. He's off the mark, you know, weight off his shoulders, off all of our shoulders. We're all doing that. We've won 5-0. Dalman's come on, our 15-year-old, and he's come on and won a penalty. It's just everyone's leaving the stadium happy. And I'll go on the football terrace and I'm doing a match reaction with Terry and the gang. And you've got some people like, oh, but we had to rely on a set piece, and you know the patterns of play are, you know, still a bit trudging. And I'm thinking, guys, man, why do you watch football? Why do you watch football if you can't be happy with a 5-0 win, with your new signing, summer signing, star striker scoring 2 goals, with a young kid, 15 years old, coming on the pitch to earn you a penalty? You know, you've scored 5 goals, and you still can't be happy, man. Football could be the wrong sport for you, man. Maybe you want to go and watch something else. But let me know what you think about that, guys, in the comments, because I just feel like there's a lot of positive fans, but there's a lot of negative fans. I'm thinking, why do we go to football? We go to football to have a good time, to go and see our team win. So enjoy the days when they do win. Whether it means you're going to win the league and at the end of, you know, can you only celebrate at the end? Is that what we're doing here? We can only celebrate at the end. It's like Jamie Carragher and that celebration police. You got Jason Cundy now on TalkSport chatting shit, talking about us fans doing that and all of that. So what, man? We're having a bit of fucking fun. That's what we go to football for. Fucking hell, man. But yeah, anyway, that's that little rant over. But let me know in the comments, guys, what you think about that as well. Hit the like button, subscribe, get us to that 300. I nearly said I'm getting ahead of myself here. Get us to that 200, man. We're on 197, 3 away from 200. I know some people are probably laughing, thinking, look at these guys, man, getting happy to get to 200. But look, it means a lot, man. We're a new channel. We've just started. If we can get to 200, we can get to 300 and so on. But anyway, let me get back into the game. Like I said, my predictions are 1-0 to the Arsenal. I'm predicting, something tells me, you know, I say something tells me we do it, you know, and Liverpool they've been dodgy on corners. They have been dodgy on corners this season. So yeah, I'm thinking an Arsenal set piece, and then we just hold out for the win. But listen, it's going to be very hard. It's going to be so hard. You know, that Ekitike looks brilliant. You know, obviously Mo Salah always turns up in the big games. He wasn't great against Newcastle, Mo Salah. You know, he does go missing sometimes, you know, but most of the time in the big games he turns up, and even if he's doing nothing all game, he gets a goal. But I've got so much confidence in that Arsenal defence. And I know there's a lot of fans, most fans have got the confidence in our defence. It's in our attack where we're a bit like, have we got the quality? And let's see tomorrow, have we got the quality? I could see us playing a little bit on counter-attack. I could see that. I could see Arteta just trying to hold it in, trying to just keep Liverpool at bay. I'm not saying we're going to sit there with 10 men behind the ball. I don't expect that. But obviously, they're the home team. They're going to go for it way more than we are. But we need to frustrate Liverpool, get the first goal, and shut up shop. I'm all for it. But let me know what you guys think. What approach do you think Arteta will make? Did you mind him making that approach? Do you think we need to just go for it? I don't think that. I think that could be potential suicide against Liverpool. Now, looking on at their team, I think their team's going to pick itself again. Obviously, they're going to have Van Dijk, Konate. It looks like it's going to be Szoboszlai at right back, which I think is we're going to have to target that. And I think Martinelli pace is the best thing for a midfielder who's playing in defence. You know, the last thing you want is Martin. Like, I know with Martinelli, we slag him off, and he's, for me, look, we needed the upgrade, and we've got it in Eze, but Odegaard's out, so he has to play there. And if it's going to be Martinelli or Trossard, it has to be Martinelli's pace to burn. He tracks back. Obviously, that same side Salah's going to be on, so he's going to be tracking back, and he's brilliant for that. So I think he's made to play against Liverpool. Martinelli. It's going to be it's such a big game. I don't know how much rides on it. Like, if we do lose the game and it's a tight game, then, you know, I'm not going to sit here and get carried away and say the title's over. And if we win it, I'm not going to say, look, well, I've been saying it anyway, I think we're going to win the Premier League. But, you know, I'm not going to be saying, well, why am I lying? I'm going to be saying we're going to win the league. Even more if we beat them. Of course I am. But, you know, I've just got confidence in this team, and I really don't think we're going to lose this game. But listen, we could lose. It's Liverpool. They are the champions, you know. Funny things happen in these big games, VAR decisions and all sorts of that. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, you know, there's ways to lose a game, right? And if we go out and we lose and they're a better team, you know, if we just get done 2-0, I'll be concerned. I'll be concerned, and I'll probably rethink us possibly winning the league. That's why this game is so massive, but it's so early in the season. You can recover from it. So it's not a title decider. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. That is what I'm trying to say. It's not a title decider. But it's a huge game. It's a massive game. It's a mighty game. It's at Anfield. We haven't lost there in a long time now, you know. We haven't lost there in about 5 seasons. I think it was 2020. I think it was COVID or something like that when we last lost there, right? But we also haven't won there since I think it was 2012 when Podolski and Cazorla. So come on, you know, I'm sharing my age with these players because, you know, some of you younger viewers, you know, I'm sure you will know who they are, but you probably didn't watch that game. Obviously, a lot of you would remember that as well. It was an early game, that one as well, if I remember rightly. That was like the 3rd game of the season. We went up to Anfield 1-2-1, and I couldn't believe it. Let's hope for another performance like that and another result like that. I mean, if we did go up there and win, it would be a true statement. It would be a true statement, because even in these title races, right? Don't get me wrong, we beat Liverpool and drew them away, right? And we beat City and drew them away. I remember when we went there and got the 0-0. You have people like I think it was Paul Scholes and that really slating us off for that. But had we won our other games, we would have won the league. It was Villa that we slipped up against. So look, I think there's all context for it. You know, would I take a draw now? Yes. Do I want to go and win? Of course. But I would take a draw now. I'm not gonna lie. People will sit there and say, nah, we have to go to win. That's just pure naivety, you know. But let me know what you think in the comments. Do we go there and do we have to win? You know, would you take a draw? I need to know in the comments, guys. But yeah, big game. We'll be going live tomorrow after the game, myself and realist Gooner, or I call him Negative Dan, but it's all a bit of banter. He calls me Positive Dan, but it's all a bit of banter between ourselves. We both love the Arsenal and we both want to get the 3 points tomorrow. So we'll be going live, we'll be reacting. Hopefully we're both in good moods. Hopefully a lot of you lot can tune in. Be straight after the game. We'll probably put a little premiere up anyway, so you guys will see it. But again, I'm just going to say, look, that's my thoughts. So it's 1-0 Arsenal. I've said my first 11, what I think Arteta will do and what I would like to do. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and let's see what happens, man. Hopefully I'm coming back, I'm on live and I'm buzzing with all you guys. But let's do it, man. Remember I said it as well, so Arsenal could go unbeaten this season. This will be our biggest acid. This is the acid test. Can we actually really go unbeaten? Could we actually go unbeaten? Could we be Invincibles 2.0? I've made a few videos about that. You know, I've been getting a lot of stick for it, but I'm getting a lot of people as well coming on and saying, you know what, I think this guy's onto something. And like I said, if we get through these games, in particular, Liverpool away, you know, I think then we play Forest, City, Newcastle. If we get through them games, I'm telling you, and we haven't lost, I'm telling you now, there's a chance, man. There's a chance with this defence. I'm telling you now. But look, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, get us to that 200, and hopefully I see you tomorrow when Arsenal have just done the business. Thanks for watching, man.